troops, and welcome to the Frontlines. In the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminadonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. Welcome back to another broadcast. And we're looking for booms. We're looking for what is coming down the line in this 4-day period, which we're getting to the end of. But we've had some interesting things happening along the way. You know, I called your attention. First, it was peace in the South Korean, from South Korea to North Korea, where the South Korean president declared, peace, and that they're haven't had peace. It was basically we're just not going to move forward. It was like a stalemate, hold position for 70 years. What sense does that make? We've got peace declared in the Middle East between 3-4 countries in Israel, and now there's 5 more, lining up behind. Wonderful things. And then yesterday we had the Senate release the report on Hunter Biden. Now that's definitely a boom. This is now making its way to the debates because it's going to be part of the debates. So Biden will have to, be in there and questioned by answer questions about his son and how every time everyone accuses him of it being some sort of quid pro quo event, he said there's no evidence of that. He just says that and moves on. Well, of course there is. So very strange, but they just go along with whatever Joe says, or don't get angry and yell at you and wag his finger. So we'll see how that turns out. The debate is coming up. I think it's the 28th. So now we also have some 17 NES updates that we'll go through, and there's some interesting things there. So Rigged for Red, the hunt is on. So we have some popcorn eating material to go through. So we'll do that. We'll go to some housekeeping. First, I'd like to also say thank you for another donation of $50 that came in. I much appreciate that. This program is brought to you by your donations. It helps because since this lockdown happened, I've been everything that I was involved with being able to move forward got stopped, and so I am completely thankful, even though it's a strange position for me to be in. But everyone has been so wonderful and has helped me these past few months to cover everything, food, electricity, Wi-Fi, just the basics. I think I'll be going for a haircut. At least be splurging out, But again, thank you for everything you've been doing. So the link is down below. Also, the link for Life Force is also down below. So please, if you'd like to contribute to Life Force, there's a link down below for that as well. All right, moving on. On the YouTube, my YouTube channel, there is your efforts to share this video are continuing to drive the numbers higher on the number of subscriptions. So I love if you would continue to do that. Normally this is where I stop and say, okay, I'll wait for you. Just go ahead and share it now. Yes, you go ahead, go on. Yeah, just move the mouse, go down to the share. Yeah, all right, and then go to your Facebook, all right, and then come back and then share it again to your Twitter. And then go to your comment section down below after you've posted and say, please share this link. It's important. And it seems to be working. So people are actually subscribing, which is wonderful. So subscribe, give the likes, give positive comments, and let's see how we can make this grow. And so anyway, so that's it as well. All right, so let's move on here. What's next? Oh yes, there was a California Assembly meeting that happened today. I was late in arrival. I got there at basically the post meeting, the meeting after the meeting, and I got updated on what occurred. So we are going to be creating a public broadcast of a meeting to kind of like, it's like the after meeting that we've been doing. I know that I said I haven't edited one that I had recorded and posted yet, as well as the mock meeting. But I have that. But we're going to be doing those to help get people into knowing what's going on in the meeting, how we're discussing things, how we go about things. So one of the topics is how do we take, say, for example, Gavin Newsom's oath of office, and then basically make it into an affidavit and make it a binding contract with him that he has to protect us, as he said in his oath of office, saying, we accept, there's your oath of office, we accept that you're going to protect our constitutional rights. And there's also another interesting story that Sandra got into about disappearing books that have the original Constitution of California in it from the public libraries. My goodness, why would that be? And the librarians basically also gave some information about why and she found it strange that all these books are being pulled without an idea of what's replacing them, right? And she's just given orders to remove these. So there is a whitewashing of history going on, right? We can tell that that's happening. Anyway, we're going to investigate this more. Maybe I can get Sandra to do this story again that she told. It was very, very good, and we'll maybe do an interview with Sandra on. I'll ask her. Well, ask her. Actually, Sandra, if you're watching, I'm asking if you'd like to do an interview about that. All right. Okay, that's good. So again, join the assemblies. Go to, you can find your state assembly in the Life Force app. Go into your groups, and you can see there's already groups made for each state. Just join your particular state, and just start holding meetings. You can join some of the other state meetings if to help get an understanding. If like New York is very active, California is active. I don't know which other ones are active. I'm sure that there's many that are active. And then you can know how to go about the process of holding the meeting and the steps. We're also going to be having a class about affidavits coming up this weekend. Okay, I think that's good for right now. And give me one moment. I just realized my power is getting low. I gotta plug in. There we go. All right. So let's roll over. So here we go. Now I'm on the number 17th letter of the alphabet, alerts.app. You can see it's right up here. And let's see, where do we love? So I like this poster, right? This is on post number 4758. The hunt is on. Hunters become the hunted. Patriots in control. It says, in the invisible war for the future of our republic, the tables are now turned, and now the hunters become the hunted. Enjoy the show. So anyway, that's not the one we're going to start with. We'll go back to where we're left off here. A lot of posts coming in. Ah, yes, I think we stopped here, I believe. This is the 23rd, 4753, 4754. The world is waking up. I think we saw this one. And this would be this next one. Yeah, this would be it. So what we're looking at here, so 4755 from September 24th. This is a picture that's describing the structure of the FBI. And you can look at everyone and basically show that like agent lead Peter Strzok fired. And this is, it's hard for me to read it. But anyway, it says removed and fired, 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 fired. And then cooperating FBI attorney number 2, Kevin Kleinsmith. So obviously he had a deal, right? He's the first indictment that came out was Kevin Kleinsmith, but he had a deal. So what's coming from there? And so there is something that's going on. So what are they talking about here? So here's a Fox News link. So let's click that and see where we go. Have everyone noticed that the internet's rolling pretty slow lately? In general, I thought it was just my system, but I'm tending to think it's more the internet itself. Okay, so 11 hours ago, Durham assumed parts of John Hoover's Clinton Foundation review source. Okay, so this is interesting. So is this something that's come out right now? I would call this a boom. I pushed the play button. Let's see what it does here. So Durham has been working on indictments from the grand juries, reviewing all the evidence, presenting cases to the grand juries, and creating indictments. That's the process. Let's see where this is going. Oh, it's taking me over because I clicked on that clip. There may be many people clicking on this as well. This was probably becoming a very popular website since the other one that was used by most has had, let's say, some problems, and they gave links to a bunch of other sites. I'm not using those sites, but this one is good. Still slow. You can take this time to share this video while we're waiting. Take a little time, just go down to the share below the video and say share. Click on your Facebook link, go share it, come back, share it to your Twitter or any of your social media. This is really, really slow. So September surprise, Greg Jarrett predicts when Durham report will drop indictments. Well, this is from August 7th. Well, that's not really important to us, is it? I'm not going to wait here anymore for it. I just want people to go look at their video, but it's taking so long to load. Crazy how slow it is. I'm just ending it. We'll just go on. Tracking events. Scope exceeds illegal spy campaign. Why? 7th floor FBI team removed, terminated. 7th floor is no more. So that is the shadow government floor. Also, I don't know why they picked the 7th floor on both of these. The State Department had it for the shadow government under Hillary for Barack, and that was cleared. That was cleaned out, I think, in the first 6 months when Trump took office. 7th floor FBI team removed, terminated. Okay, so normal? No, it's not normal. Well, it probably has become the normal, but I don't think it was normal 20 years ago. So what other investigations, same team, touch, alter outcome. So if you touch them, it alters the outcome. So I guess what they're referring to is when you have an investigation going on, and I think like Barr was asked some questions. He said, I can't talk about that because there's other cases that are impeding on that. So if he says something, it'll affect the others. So I think that's what he's referring to there. But let's continue. How are other investigations bridged to illegal spy campaign? Bigger than you can imagine. This is a reason why this was leaked today. There is a reason why this was leaked today. The election inflection cannot stop what is coming. This election infection. The election infection. I guess we're talking about the corona, plandemic or scamdemic. Cannot stop what's coming. So yes, they're all of the mind that they're going to be able to outmaneuver this. I don't think they will be able to. Let's continue here. So 4756, Anonymous sends Red October upcoming, and 17NES replies, make your depth 50 feet, zero bubble. Okay, that's I guess these are submariner terms. So if you're in a submarine, what you're going to say, go to periscope depth of 50 feet, zero bubble. I do not know what these terms mean, but I'm sure someone who's familiar with being in a submarine would know what that meant. Let's go. What's next here? So we were just looking at that. So 4757, Anonymous is talking about this Durham report, right? Let the truth be told, political spying illegal, less than 1%, have faith in humanity. So there's a screenshot. Let the truth be told. And then 17NES is saying, it is on the way. So it's like the bombs are being dropped. So, okay, this is where we were starting here. This poster, 4758. Below the depths of the DC swamp, the hunt is on. In the invisible war for the future of our republic, the tables are now turned, and now the hunters become the hunted. Patriots in control. I can't read this down there, though. It's very small print. Anyway, let's continue on. Okay. Okay, that's this one. What are we looking at here? So this is 4759. It's a photo, looks like, with Air Force One. I'm not sure who these people are in this photo. What does it say? Never forget those in the background. These guys are in the background. And who's in the foreground here, with the back of his head? Well, let's see if we can take a look. Now, when these photos come out and they're posted here on the 17NES site, we got to think about everything that's going on. So what do you notice? Well, first of all, at the top of the screen, we've got this Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies at the age of 87 following the battle with cancer. So maybe not too much with that. We could say maybe there's something going on with the time stamp there, but we also have a time stamp of what's going on here. Let's kind of zoom in a little bit, see where we can go with this. So we have, I don't know exactly what that says. Is it upcoming? No, it says Washington. Oh, that's what it says. Washington 09, I think. Kind of harder. And then 09 and then 140, but I don't know what they mean. Someone's on a laptop. They're discussing something. Probably it could be about Ruth. And then we've got this. What is this? This is a chair, an arm of a chair. It looks like one of those airplane chairs. And he's in the foreground. He's got some papers in front of him. Well, he's got some interesting shoes there with a nice white sole. Anyone? What about, he's wearing a pin here. Can't quite tell what that pin is. Not enough resolution. Anyway, well, it's interesting. Maybe we're just talking about these people that are in the background that are helping. Let's not forget them, I guess is what the point is. Let's move on. We're 759. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, this is 4760. Anonymous is sending this. Technofog. The Adam Goldman New York report on Durham reviewing Clinton Foundation investigation. Number one, agents and FBI managers seek subpoena of CF, Clinton Foundation. Number two, top DOJ criminal division officials deny request. So, the FBI asked a subpoena on the Clinton Foundation, and the Department of Justice says no. Interesting. Did Andrew Weissman deny the subpoena in 2016? He led the frauds section, so I guess that would make sense. Any idea? So what is this saying here? Take this over to Twitter. Hello. Okay, top officials in Justice Department requested 2016 from senior FBI to secure a subpoena. There's a fraud secretary, can't make it out. I think we're just referring to saying that there is something that it must be Weissman. Maybe that signature, you can't see it, but that's probably what they're referring to. So here's the Twitter. Maybe that's the original. Report on Durham reviewing Clinton Foundation investigation. Number one, agents, FBI managers seek a subpoena, right? Top DOJ criminal division officials deny a request. Did Andrew Weissman deny the subpoena in 2016? He led the fraud section. Any ideas? And now we show an airplane. Why are we showing an airplane here? Where is that airplane? Don't know. It's an American airplane because there's a flag on the tail, but don't know much about that. Timing can be derived from the picture. Anons have always known. Have faith in your research. Timing. So you could determine the timing from this photo. Well, that would be pretty good. I don't know exactly how. So I guess we'll see where this goes. We'll go on to the next one. 4761. There's a Twitter link. Tracking events. Who's tracking events? Oh, this is a real Donald Trump. One of his posts. Okay, so Trump was right. Explosive new FBI text details internal for your handling of Crossfire Hurricane investigation. Newly disclosed internal FBI notes and text message detail the extent of FBI's desire to take down Trump and his associates at any cost. Trump was right. FBI. So okay, so Trump is basically right, and that. So we're going to get more information, is what we're being told about this. Okay, tracking events. Okay, 4762. We got 3 stars. ... Not long now. Is that General Flynn? I'm wondering. 3-star general. Not sure. Could be. 4763. So there's another Technofog. I don't know if it's the same one or not. These people are stupid. Pandemic dem panic. Pandemic dem panic. Pandemic dem panic. What does Technofog have to say about that? So glad they're closing Razor. So this is from the past, November 16th, November of 2016. So glad they're closing Razor. Disagreement with Flynn's financials. We didn't find anything. This investigation is a nightmare. After Obama White House meeting, Razor is going to stay open. So this is more information, I guess, is going to be continued to leak out. That's what we're being told here. So it's again about Flynn. So I think those 3 stars that they were pointing to was about Flynn. Yeah, not the same post, but the one right after. Okay, 4764, Midnight Riders Ride, Information Warfare. So this is basically the go signal, right? Midnight Riders Ride. That's an order. Ride. It's information warfare, so we got to go. All right, that's the last post from 17 NES. All right. Let me first go over to our stream and see how things are going. At 35 viewers. Hello, everybody. We've got, hello, Kim. I see you're in there. Kim Clever. Hyperdrive. No news from Tank. No. Okay. Hello. Good moments. Indeed, yes. I want that poster. Well, you can download that poster, print it up. I'm going to put it on my Parlor. Dan, how can these assemblies operate if the persons are still U.S. citizens? They need to renounce the corporation and stand on the land and soil. Yes? Well, let's talk about that for a moment. Okay. You could be that individual that doesn't have a driver's license, has no ID, no credit cards, no bank account, pays no taxes, that individual, and travel down roads and get stopped by police and do that. Now, are you correct in your standing at that point? Have you done everything in the right way, whichever way that might be? Because there's this guy says it's this way, this guy says it's this way. It's UCC filing like this. It's a lot there. I've looked into a lot of it. I can't know specifically what always the best thing is. I had this discussion actually with Kim Clever yesterday, I think it was, and talking about American National. I looked into American National status from 7 years ago, something like that. And American National, if you looked into the becoming one, started with the State Department. At the time when I was looking, Hillary Clinton was in the State Department, so and she would happily stamp your new American National passport for you as you're being an American national. Now there's a whole now you could have gone through that and been going around. Now you have a passport, you're going around. I'm American national. You're passing that around. Okay, are you in the correct standing now? So now can you be in an assembly? So it's the question, because I'm American national. What does that mean regarding to the states and assemblies? But then, Kim Clever, I was speaking with, was talking about this other process from the United States government, the United States, not USA Inc., that is picked up by some other individuals, and I don't know how to call them, because it would be, say a smaller group of people, grabbing hold of the government and holding it safe, I guess is a way of putting it. It says there's a whole other way of becoming an American national from their standpoint. So which is right? Can you be in an assembly then? just join the assembly, right? Let's just move forward. It's very confusing because they've designed it to confuse everyone. So the one thing that's not confusing is standing together. The rest of the rigmarole will all be figured out, right? We'll just keep pushing forward. We get thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in the assemblies saying this is law. Things are going to change. Join the assemblies. All right, go back over to look at what this is. And the group here, Kim likes the poster. Kim Clever. I don't want to get confused with Kim Gogan. I'm not trying to talk about the banter back and forth, so let's see. Okay. All right, that's good. So let's move on. I'm going to cover a couple more stories I think are of importance. Bring this up. From yesterday, FBI finds mail-in ballots discarded in Pennsylvania. All of them were cast for President Trump. Breaking news. Harrisburg on Monday, September 21st, 2020. The request from Lucerne County District Attorney Stephanie Cervantes, the Office of the United States Attorney, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Scranton Resident Office, began an inquiry into reports of potential issues with the small number of mail-in ballots at the Lucerne County Board of Elections. Since Monday, FBI personnel working together with Pennsylvania State Police have conducted numerous interviews and recovered and reviewed certain physical evidence. Election officials in Lucerne County have been cooperative at this point can confirm that a small number of military ballots were discarded. Investigators have recovered 9 ballots at this time. Some of those ballots can be arbitrary to specific voters some cannot. All 9 ballots were cast for President Donald Trump. The inquiry remains ongoing. We expect later today to share up-to-date findings with officials in Lucerne County. It's the vital duty of the government to ensure that every properly cast vote is counted. Okay, so what is this telling us? And I've seen other videos. People in the mail service removing Trump signs. These people are radicalized. That they think that anything they do, which is against Trump, is okay. Doesn't matter if it's against law because they're not going to be caught, or in this case also prosecuted. We can see that people that are rioters are not being prosecuted by these DAs that have been paid for by Soros. So we can see that this is being facilitated over decades of time. It's a systemic form of voter suppression, right? I have been seeing this as a part of California, how so many conservatives are in California. It was always, kind of leaning. It would lean, a little bit left, but then you can't get any Republican elected. It's so strange. Even in Republican districts, it becomes like, how is it possible? That they're losing. So something is going on there. So I think that we're going to see some sort of push to make voter ID and this new blockchain patent that the post office has used to record ballots is going to be put into place. Now, it's not this election cycle, so this is going to be an ongoing battle. Just because there's a big win for Trump in this landslide this next election The work is not over. We're just beginning. That's why we've got to assemble. We've got to get together. Because the system is corrupt. I saw another video where the mail person drove up to a bin and dumped a whole one of those little carts of ballots into a dumpster. Right, she's caught on camera. It was a security camera. So how are they safe, right? And this is why this type of corruption that's being pushed is happening, because the people have been put in place over a long time for this revolution that they're trying to make occur, this color revolution. So we know what the playbook is. All right. Let's move to the next one. This is NBC. California man arrested after trying to kidnap boy 2 from moving car at Costco lot. This video playing. Always seems to run pretty slow. Where I click these. I'm going to have to download them ahead of time to get them to play. Okay, parents who fought off a would-be kidnapper in Costco parking lot over the weekend say encountered... oh, here they are.
Good thing. There was nothing good he was going to do to my son.
Investigators say even a short walk around the block is now looked at with some apprehension.
We got to think about this idiot creep, and
or
stuff
any
like that,
idiot
or anybody.
creep.
Just you're always looking over your shoulder.
Saturday afternoon in the Costco parking lot in Vista, Jennifer, her fiance Peter, along with their 2 children, Peter, 2, and Colton, 9 months, were confronted by a stranger.
I don't know what his intentions were to do with my son, but it wasn't a good thing. There was nothing good he was going to do to my son.
Investigators say Adam Glavinik pulled open the couple's rear car door while they were backing out of the parking space, then tried to snatch little Peter from his child seat.
I think I hit him once and he hit the ground, and I just got on top of him. I'm not going to let it happen to my kids. I'm damn sure not going to let it happen to anyone else.
Glavinik was arrested, booked in the Vista Detention Center, and charged with some serious crimes, including attempted kidnapping and being under the influence of a controlled substance. Within about 24 hours, though, he was released on bond. Because he lives in the North County, some residents are concerned. The victims are frustrated.
I was up all night last night from 12 o'clock to almost 5 o'clock, going up to check on him every 30 minutes because I just can't get this guy's face out of my head.
Peter and his brother weren't hurt. Both remained strapped in their car seats during the whole ordeal. As for the parents...
I'm just so glad that it's getting so much awareness and people are sharing this and talking about it and letting people know that this stuff is not a joke.
Dave Summers, NBC7.
Okay. So that area, Vista, California, is I know it very well. This is where my daughter lives. My daughter has...
people want to be cajillionaires. That's the dream. That's how they get you hooked.
So my daughter has two children, 5 and 1. And this could very well have been her. Very well. So what is going on here? Now, this is not the first report in the last couple of days of kids attempted to be stolen away from their parents. And apparently there is a $100,000 price tag on kids. And that's why you're going to see this. And the reason is their adrenochrome supply has been cut off. And the question is, who can afford $100,000? That's the question. So that the list of suspects of who's paying for this is going to be very small. The people are just going to be trying to grab kids so that they can get the money, right? So they're just doing the bad deed. So we have to be aware. that this is what the war is. This is what's going to be made very visible, right? This is how the world comes together. This is the alien invasion of these, pedivores. They eat children. The monsters that eat children. They are alien to us. It is an invasion. We have insurrection going on where they're trying to completely absorb everything at this point and eliminate all rights, God, anything patriotic. So the battle is on. We have to attack against them the way we know how. Stand together in the assemblies. Go ahead and make a pitch to get other people involved. Let them know that they took our businesses away. They're trying to take our children away. They're putting laws into place, or not laws, regulations into place, statutes that say, oh, we can take your kids if you have COVID. We can take your kids if your kids have COVID. And how do they tell? Well, they have a test that's already infected with COVID that they'll do. Oh, he's got COVID. Oh, not safe to keep him in the house with you guys. We've got to take him away. They need the children. Their supply lines have been cut, and they are losing it. And anything can happen, just like any trapped animal. They will act out in wild ways. So we're going to see it throughout society. We have to be aware, and we have to take action. Okay. Join the assemblies. All right. Now this is another story. Let me bring this one up. This gets a little bit more into the financial side. Okay. FinCEN. What is FinCEN? Well, FinCEN is basically it's the financial informational records, right? But we'll get into that. So we're going to talk about a particular amount and the reason why. It has to do with everything I've been telling you the last week or so. Well, or actually last year or so. But anyway, leaked documents involving 2 trillion of transactions have revealed how some of the world's biggest banks have allowed criminals to move dirty money around the world. Maybe to pay for children, for example. They also show how Russian oligarchs have used banks to avoid sanctions that were supposed to stop them from getting their money into the West. The latest is in a string of leaks over the past 5 years that have exposed secret deals, money laundering, and financial crimes. What are the FinCEN files? The FinCEN files are more than 2,500 documents, most of which are files that banks sent to the United States authorities between 2000 and 2017. These raise concerns about what their clients might be doing. These documents are some of the internal banking system's most closely guarded secrets. Banks use them to report suspicious behavior, but are not proof of wrongdoing or crime. They were leaked to BuzzFeed News and shared with a group that brings together investigative journalists from around the world, which distributed them to 108 news organizations in 88 countries, including the BBC's paranormal program. Hundreds of journalists have been sifting through the dense technical documents, uncovering some of the activities that the banks would prefer the public not know about. So out of 2,657 files, 2,100 have suspicious activity. 2 acronyms you need to know. FinCEN is the U.S. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. These are the people that are the U.S. Treasury who combat financial crimes. Concerns about transactions made in the U.S. dollars need to be sent to FinCEN, even if they took place outside the United States. Suspicious Activities Report, or SARs, are an example of how those concerns are recorded. A bank must fill in one of these reports if it's worried one of its clients might be up to no good. The report is sent to the authorities. So let's look down here. So this is about WC M777 Limited. And the amount involved, $6,000. Fraud pyramid scheme. Why does this matter? So if you're planning to profit from criminal enterprise, one of the most important things to have in place is a way of laundering the money. Laundering money is the process of taking dirty money and the proceeds of crimes, such as drug deals or corruption, and getting it into an account that a respected bank where it will not be linked with the crime. The same process is needed if you're a Russian oligarch from Western countries having taken sanctions against to stop you from getting your money into the West. Banks are supposed to make sure that they don't help clients to launder money or move it around in ways that break the rules. By law, they have to know who their clients are. It's not enough to file SARs and keep taking dirty money from the clients while expecting the authorities to deal with the problem. If they have evidence of criminal activity, they should stop moving the cash. So Fergus Shale from International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, ICIJ, said leaked files were an insight into what banks know about the vast flow of dirty money across the globe. He said the documents also highlighted the extraordinary large amounts of money involved. The documents in FinCEN files cover about 2 trillion of transactions, and they are only a tiny portion of the SARs submitted over a period. So what has been revealed? So HSBC fraudsters to move millions of dollars of stolen money around the world, even after it learned U.S. investigators that the scheme was a scam. JP Morgan allowed a company to move more than $1 billion through a London account without knowing who owned it. The bank later discovered the company might be owned by a mobster on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Evidence that one of Russia's President Vladimir Putin's closest associates used Barclays Bank in London to avoid sanctions, which were meant to stop him from using financial services in the West. Some of the cash was used to buy works of art, which is another way of laundering money, actually. The husband of a woman who has donated 1.7 million to the UK's governing Conservative Party was secretly funded by a Russian oligarch with close ties to President Putin. The UK is called a higher risk jurisdiction and compared to Cyprus by the intelligence division of FinCEN. That's because a number of UK registered companies that appear on the SARS, over 3,000 UK companies are named in the FinCEN files, more than any other country. Okay. Chelsea, owner of Roman Abramovich, once held secret investment in footballers not owned by his club through an offshore company. United Arab Emirates Bank failed to act on warnings on local firm that was helping Iran evade sanctions. Deutsche Bank moved money, launderers, dirty money for organizing crimes, terrorists and drug traffickers. Standard Chartered moved cash for Arab banks more than decades after the client's accounts in the Jordanian banks have been used for funding terrorism. So why is this all important, right? Right, is really what we're just talking about with Hunter Biden, right? Is one. So there's payments being sent around. And when these payments get sent around, and they may have something suspicious about them, there should be one of these reports. So, were there reports on these coming from, let's say, the billionaire former mayor wife in Moscow, sending payments to Hunter Biden? Would that end up being any reason for that kind of payments to been sent to him, thousands of dollars? So these kind of reports are going to actually have a trail. We've also been discussing how some of these banks are being used to let's see, like so. Right, I was talking about Deutsche Bank selling off 2 trillion in money instruments, right, at 50% off. So how does that happen, right? How does that work? Right? You give me $500 million, I'll give you $1 billion. Instantly it appears in your account, and it does. All legalese, legal, all by their system, right? It's in the fiction, so they can. It just works that way, right? So that's the problem with creating money out of nothing, is you can start creating it for these reasons. Well, here's a transaction, right? It just can't appear in their account, right? But if someone sends it in and they send back another instrument, and that instrument pops into existence with that full amount, it's legalese. Okay, so there's a lot that's going on right now with the financial system. Okay, the big money that we're talking about is in play, right? That they move it in a circle, right, to make sure that it appears here, appears here, appears here, appears here, appears here. If you have $1 billion appearing in 10 places, that was $10 billion. Yeah, appearing out of nowhere, right? So this is why the system right now has a big problem. Now, what can be used to stop this? How it can be used? Now we know what's going on with the Fed and with Trump and the SPVs. It's a system set up to harness the printing power of the Fed to pay for debt, bonds, stocks, and they're running at $1.2 billion an hour that they're buying up as much as they can. It's a grab for assets. Debt being an asset, consider also stock. Is stock an asset? Everyone thinks that's an asset, right? I own stock. I own part of this company. Well, if they end up buying 30% of a company, 50% of a company, while everything else is going, they can keep buying. They can keep buying because they can't stop it. It's the system. That's how it works. Just like Deutsche Bank popping into existence money into another account because they are, in fact, the central bank of Germany, or you could say almost the central bank of Europe, of the EU. And what's happening with the EU? Is the EU collapsing? I think it is. So, does that mean it's like gone next month or next year? No. But Germany is in very big problems financially because they've been holding up the EU. England is out of here, right? So bye. In England, they pulled together all their people and made it all reassuring. That meeting that they had with the wealthy individuals in London, in England, they just reassured them, said it was all going to be okay, and we're all in this together. It's a reassuring call. So don't freak out, right? Because the financial world is going to be in turmoil as these things continue to happen because the people in power are losing power. They're being removed, right? The deep state tentacles are being pulled out, right? And they don't want to let go, right? And they're going to hold on as much as possible. And just as you're we're in that final snap, right? When you pull them out, they're still going to be squiggling to get back in. We gotta be aware of the turmoil. Just be aware of all of the things that are happening. Protect our children, protect our family members. Be prepared, have some reserves because there can be some difficult periods with food and energy, water, So be prepared. It's not too late. Get some things. You know, if you can get an extra, 2 weeks worth of food, do that. If you can get 3 months, do it. It's not going to hurt you. There's stuff that will last for 10 years. 5 years from now, crack it open if everything's all good and dandy at that point, and say, hey, let's have a memorial party for the worldwide lockdown. We call it the year the Earth stood still. The new movie, right? Instead of the day, right? The year got Gort, coming down to determine if humanity gets to survive or not. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for today. I thank you for your attention. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your contributions. Really, it does help. It does help. And thank you also for your making the assemblies grow. People are going in. And thank you for sharing the video. Do it now. Yep, do it now. Don't wait. Don't say you're going to do it later. No. Hey, don't do it later. Do it now. Just share this video. Okay, just down below, just find it says share. Click. Find your Facebook. Share. There it goes. You can make a comment afterwards. Say, please share this video. Please subscribe. Says it has been working, so I appreciate that. That will help everything move forward. And if you get on there on the assemblies, just drop me a line. If you want to talk to me on Telegram, contact me there. You can send me an email. A little delayed in getting responses, just so you know. But that information is all down below. I guess until tomorrow, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.